Good morning, team. Today we have a case of Genesis. We have ourselves a murder scene, okay? Murder. Girl found face first in snowbank, killed with a hammer, okay? That's what we have to deal with here. So now let's look at the course theory of human action. Let's look at who? The agent. This is the person who committed the crime. That is the unsub, okay? Unsub. What? The action, okay? That's the murder. And why? Is the motive. And that's when we have to look at the person's conscience. What drove this person's conscience to do this, okay? How did the unsub exercise their conscience? Jet leaves in 24 hours. See you then.
First things first, we need to take a look at the theories of human action.
Well, it's definitely not religious determinism because God has a plan for everyone, and this is definitely not God's plan.
It could be social determinism, but we'd have to look at the unsub's past history and how it may have influenced or shaped them. I'll get Garcia on that.
Okay. It also could be naturalism. We don't know if this person was born a natural sociopath. It could be their genetic makeup.
Whatever one it is, this unsub has a very skewed sense of ethics and morality.
Ethics is a guide to morality.
And morality is the ways that humans can attain happiness and freedom. So if this is how this unsub achieves happiness, we'll have a lot of explaining to do.
You can say that again.
All engine running.
The weird thing about this unsub is that they didn't touch the victim's face. Everything else has been damaged, but the face wasn't touched.
This reminds me about Levinas, how you get your feelings from looking at another person's face.
It can't be Kant because he was all about acting according to one's duty. And it can't be Aristotle because he was all about acting in moderation and balance.
After looking at that crime scene, it's safe to say that unsub practiced hedonism because he only seeks the pleasure of himself.
Being immoral or moral is a habit, so this guy definitely doesn't follow virtue ethics.
So girls, let's discuss.
Yes, how are we feeling after we've seen evidence?
I think we need to look at the unsub's conscience. But what exactly is the conscience?
Well, I believe that the conscience is the moral sense of right or wrong, causing someone to feel guilt.
And the Catechism teaches us that about the human dignity of a human person. The conscience tells us how we should be, while the virtues and commandments are meant to guide us.
But does everyone have a conscience?
Well, he has no conscience.
But our conscience comes from God. He has written his laws on our hearts and has put a conscience within us for our own good. Jesus acts as a guide for our conscience. Isn't everyone supposed to have a conscience?
Alright, let's look at the 4 dimensions of human conscience. And we're going to start off with the importance of others.
That's the whole idea that without others, we would all die within minutes of birth. Second, let's look at the importance of having direction.
And this talks about how identity comes from commitments, direction, and cultural and social backgrounds. Third, let's talk about the importance of communication and language.
In this, language is key. We are shaped through communication. And the last one is the importance of character in the body.
Characters develop over time, and this reflects in our bodies. Oh, we're getting a call. Hey, Garcia.
Hey, dolls.
What do you have for us?
After doing some research, I figured out who the murderer is. From the looks of it, they've come from a normal upbringing. So this case has to be naturalism. This person was born a sociopath, therefore the superego does not exist.
Thanks again, Garcia.
We've got everything we need now.
Now let's go find ourselves an unsub.
Intergalactic.